Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we're not working on cars. We're actually working on man cave projects. So stay tuned. So if you guys have been watching my channel any length of time at all, you'll know that I've got this new shop. And this new shop is something that's been a work in progress over the last 2 years. The interior is a work in progress, just like they all are. As you can see, I've got flags adorning all the way around the perimeter of the garage. Let's get a closer look at some of the man cave ideas that I've come up with and where we're going next. So up here between the two garage doors, this is a 57 Chevy Fender that I found out in the back section of my property. And we've got a Mopar sign there. We got lots of license plates and some Goodyear signage here. So this whole area is full, and we may be changing that up a little bit in the near future. But as I mentioned, we've got flags all around the perimeter, and in behind those flags is shelving. Yes, the first thing I wanted to do when I come out here was have shelving for stuff so that I can get it up off the floor and out of the way so that we're not tripping over it. And this is stuff that you're just not going to touch all the time. As everyone who works on cars knows, if you've got a shop and you've got a significant other, they're always saying, why do you hang on to all this crap? Well, because you just might need it someday. That's what I keep saying. Right? With a little bit of help from my buddy Trucker Dave, he goes by Maine Trucker on Instagram, follow him. He helped me get this traffic signal, and I've reinstalled some light bulbs, and I bought a little traffic signal indicator thingy. I'll leave a link in the description box below. If you guys got one of these and it doesn't work in sequence, I'll leave that link for that switcher. It's about 25 bucks American. It allows you to kind of cycle through, or flashlights, whatever you want to do. We've got parts all over the place. We've got oil cans up here. We've got our beer fridge. We've got our beverage fridge with all of our Rock Auto. We don't do very much shopping on Rock Auto, as you can tell. And this is my studio. So this is where we do things like recording podcasts. We do live streams from in behind here. And I got it decorated on the outside. Of course, we got a green screen. And this is my setup here with some lights and my computer. Of course, no garage or man cave is complete without a pool table. And we've got a couch and chair that everybody has seen at their grandmother's house at some point over the last 40 years. Some more fenders. We got some house rules for playing a game of pool. I'll scan by here real quick. If you guys see those, you see something that I should add or take away, make sure you let me know down in the comment section. Blue Moon Motel is the signage that we took out. And for those of you who don't know, I also own a used car dealership. So that is a sign that was supposed to go in our highway sign out by the road. And when they ordered it, they ordered the wrong size. So we had a couple of these kicking around. And Blue Moon Motel were the gels that were in that sign when we bought it. So we've got them hanging up here on the wall along with my oil can collection. And of course, we've got my 79 Chrysler Cordoba as well as Old Dale the truck, my 77 Chevy C10. A few extra little things hang on the wall. This golf sign and my Square by Syndicate banner is there. More shelving up along that top section there. And when my father-in-law retired, he was in the used car business as well. His name was Roger. And when he sold his business, we got the sign out of the front of his building. So we've got it hanging up here in the shop as an homage to my father-in-law. So that's just a brief overview of what we've got so far, and we're always adding. And one of the things that I picked up more recently was some signage that you may or may not remember from the 80s, early 90s. I don't think they're around anymore. But when you see something that's got a little bit of nostalgia to it, you got to jump on it, and the price wasn't bad either. Let me show you. So this sign right here, which is roughly about 5 feet by about almost 4 feet, Rent-A-Wreck. Yeah, Rent-A-Wreck was you could rent used cars. They weren't brand new cars. They were a little bit less at the time. And you could be a franchisee. Any local garage or gas station, service station could have one of these. And the slogan was, drive a good bargain. So I got this, which was a hanger. So it hung on the outside of the building. And if we come down here, it is double-sided. The mate to that, which was what was on a building, one-sided, is this yellow one. And we've already got it sitting here. And my buddy Ross said, you know what, when we're out here playing pool, we don't have anywhere that we can set a drink. So this little shelf right here was something that we were using for things like, you know, chalk and whatever. Not enough for drinks. He said that would be perfect. So we got this all set up. We got some new LED lights in there. I leave it plugged in all the time. Although I do have a switch right here, so I can turn it off and on, but LEDs don't draw a lot of power, and it looks some cool when it's dark in here. So we've got this one mounted today. We're working on this one. The first thing we had to do was get it up onto the sawhorses. So Junior come out and give me a hand flipping it over. Now we got to get it opened up. So we're going to crank up the air, get a couple of old rusty bolts that are holding the gels in place so we can flip it up and gain access to the inside. So I'm going to turn the compressor on. We'll be right back. So as far as I can tell, there's only 3 fasteners hold them in. One over here. There's one rounded off screw or bolt there, and one over here. So they are 7/16. We'll get those out, the 2 that we can. This one here, we get the grinder. We're going to grind that one off. They'll actually come out pretty easy. And they're long enough. They are self-tapping fine thread bolts. That's pretty neat. Never seen those before. I bet you they work pretty good on something like this. Now we're going to grind that head off because it used to be a Robertson screw or a square screw, but yeah, it ain't anymore. So at some point in time, I'm going to upgrade that compressor. That just is not enough air. So guys, in all my videos, or most of them, you're going to see these mag rags, red rags, hanging all over the place. Mag rag, magnet and a rag. Sewn into the corner, it allows you to keep it right where you need it. I am not getting paid 1 cent to sell you guys on this product, but I am going to leave a link in the description of every video so you guys go down and take a look. Mag rag, made in the USA, made by veterans. Make sure you're supporting these guys. You're using the rags anyway. Now they're everywhere you need them. Stuck to your work. Let's get this thing open and see. Oh my goodness. What's in here? All right, I think we're gonna have to get that layer off. Even though it flips up, I think it's gonna be in the way, and I don't want it just kind of flopping back here. And there are some pins in these hinges, so we'll see if we can knock those out. So you can see on the back of this hinge, they're riveted into both pieces, but they got these pins that are just kind of in there, and we're gonna try and with the vice grips first and just pull them out, and then we'll lift off this gel. Oh yeah, that's all we need. Same thing. Oh yeah, that's so easy. Now as long as it separates from the hinge, it should be golden. Easy peasy. Now, can I get this off here myself without damaging it? All right, let's get a closer look inside here. So these are just your standard, what do they call them? T12 maybe style fixtures. We're gonna be getting rid of that. I already actually plugged this in once and these actually lit up, but we're gonna be upgrading to some LEDs. I'm gonna leave a link for these down in the description box as well. And they're 4 foot. So what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to mount one on each surface over here all the way around and have 4 LED lights lighting this up. And while we're in here, we're gonna clean that up too. That looks pretty grody, I mean, gross. So we got this big resistor, which is held in here by some pretty heavy duty wire, this ballast. And man, she's soggy. And we'll clean up all this rust while we're in here as well. This is the bottom. I'm not too concerned because I think the goal is to basically mount it on top of my studio here so that it's kind of here. in your face. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna run a plug-in up and over to wherever the nearest one is. I guess there's one there. There's one there as well. Anyways, that's the plan, is to put it above here. We've got to get all this junk out of here first, so let's get it cleaned out.
Well, when I woke up,
okay, as you saw, we got the wiring out, but we do have to get rid of these hooks. And I see it's bolted in here and one bolt here. Hopefully if we spin that big bolt out, there might be something going through there and there as well. I don't know. We'll see where it leads us. Got the same thing on this side. We got to try and get those hooks out. Worst case Ontario, we just zip hand, throw it in our hands anyway. So I'm going to do that. I'll be right back with you. Okay. Took a little bit of persuasion to get these out, but drilling a few rivets and getting a few more bolts out, and then come to find out that this thing was only half in there with some rivets, because as you can tell, it's quite rusty. So those basically came right out as well. Whatever, it's there. Same thing on this side. This one was a little more bigger pain in the butt because it had this conduit piece going through, and this was the lock ring. Yep, it was rusted right on there. So we had to cut it off. We got everything out. So this thing is now 100% ready to be retrofitted. So I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up and get ready for the new lights. Let's go over and take a look at the new lights we're putting in. Okay, so what we've got here are the BARINNA LED T5 integrated fixture. These are basically the same ones that we've got in the garage here right now. And I like them so much because they were so versatile that I figured, why not use them in this application? Because we're basically turning an old light into something new, and we might as well have it be efficient. So just like the other one, we want to make sure that we can maybe leave it on all the time to help give this this garage a little bit of, you know, man cave ambiance. So basically what we got is an aluminum backing and a kind of a frosted lens on the outside. These are connecting here with a 3-prong, so they are grounded. There's 6 lights in this package altogether. They each come with switched power, but you can also use the cable links that will attach each of these together. And I believe, if I remember correctly, you can attach all 6 of them on one switch. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's get them laid out, plug them in, and maybe just kind of get a glimpse from underneath what it's gonna look like. So what we've done is we've got the switch plugged in here. This one daisy chains onto that one, which daisy chains onto this one, which daisy chains onto this one. So what we're gonna do is get down here on the floor and we're gonna flick that switch and she's gonna be lit. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. And if we wanted to light up this center a little bit more, I'm sure we could get one more running down this center strip. So what we found out was that the height is just a little bit over 4 feet. How do I know that? Well, because these fixtures just barely fit inside, and if we're going to be daisy chaining them together, then that's going to make it hard to get that in there because the wires won't bend far enough. So I'm thinking what we're going to have to do is, once we get them mounted to the insides here, and I'll show you how they mount, is we may have to run our daisy chain outside of the framework so that we actually can maybe take this hole here, make it a little bit bigger, run our wire in through there, and we can drill a hole here to make sure that it's plugged in to the one on the top. Over here, same thing. We'll open up this opening. We'll put another hole here big enough for that plug-in to go through. That way we can keep these inside mounted flushly on the actual frame of the sign. And like I said, I may even take a zip tie and zip tie one in the middle, just so that's lit up a little bit better. But yeah, I think that's gonna work pretty good. So when I come back, I'll show you how we're gonna mount these things with the provided kit. So these are the tin clips that are provided. They come with the screws, and the way that they work is that once you have them flush mounted to your wall or whatever you're mounting them to, they're just gonna lock into place like so on the surface. That's exactly how we get them mounted on the ceiling. These are a little bit smaller format, but they're gonna do just the same thing. So in order to get that done, we're going to have to pre-drill some pilot holes into the metal wherever these screws are going to go in. So each section is going to have to get 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. And then we can kind of get these mounted in place. Then what we've got to do is get the holes drilled. We'll use our step bit to get these wires to come in through. We've got grommets, so we'll put some grommets on as well to make sure there's no chafing. You got to use grommets, guys. This isn't your car. This is not 12 volt. This is 120 volt. That means you're going to burn them all down, not just one of them. So we got to make sure that we're doing this right. So once we get these holes pre-drilled, we'll be able to securely mount them and then run our wires through our holes that we're going to use a step bit on. Let's get to it. Okay, so starting here with the power coming in with our switch, we are grommeted. That light bar daisy chains to that one, which is also through a couple of grommets right there. And then it comes out the slot where it barely fits into another grommet there. Out of a grommet into that slot there. And then it comes out the bottom. I got to put 2 more grommets in over there, and it comes back to this one last light fixture. And then we can clean up. We're going to wipe down this backside here so that it's nice and clean. And we were using these grommets. This is a simple grommet kit that I got off of Amazon. I'll leave a link down below for this if you guys are interested in a grommet kit. They're handy to have. Whether you're working on cars or doing a small project like this, always use grommets, guys. Okay, so I'm going to tidy up with these last 2 grommets. We'll get this cleaned up first, and we'll take the cover, put it back on, and get this thing stood up and plugged in one last time so you guys can see. That way, it's ready to get mounted. I'll have to clean off the top of my studio here, but once we get that done, I'll get Junior to give me a hand, and when we come back, we'll give you the big reveal. Okay, we've got this thing up there. We've got it tied off with some straps so it's not going to be so tippy, because it is a little bit tippy. And we've reinforced the top of my studio. So let's get the lights off and turn those lights on. Now that is pretty cool. I'm excited about that. That goes really well with the yellow one over here on the side. And I think that, I'm excited to do more. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this big Rent-A-Wreck sign and if I should be adding more in my shop. That is pretty cool. So after getting that sign all set up there and getting my video edited right till this point, I realized I didn't record an outro. So this is it, guys. If you like this type of work, other than just working on cars all the time, give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more, leave a comment down below, and make sure you're subscribed to Olde Carr Guy. We're on a quest for 100,000 subscribers in 2024. Are we going to do it? It's all up to you. If you're not subscribed now, hit that subscribe button, because that's what gets me to that number. It's free to you, doesn't cost you a cent, and you get notified when I put new videos up. Tells YouTube I'm doing a pretty good job as well. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking it through this video. Guys, stay focused on the windshield, not the rearview mirror. I love you. God bless. Let's do it again in the next video.